Some Robert, by state law, the wages of public utility district employees are confidential.
Really?
Except the law allows for the general manager to be public information. Or the commissioners could decide to keep it confidential.
Oh, interesting. Huh, that does give context to the story.
And they have elected to keep it confidential.
Interesting.
So Mr. Only was out there when I went out. Joe,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh. I bet he had thoughts.
He did have
Yes.
yes, imagine that.
Yeah, okay.
Which is kind of the opposite of county. We have nothing. Yeah. Don't know what purpose they find in keeping it confidential.
I don't either. That would have been an interesting human nature observation. See Dave in the meeting. He's so calm.
Oh,
He's so rational. And from the comments, it sounded like he was as
there's a recording of it. You should watch a recording. It's classic Dave. He was well prepared and well reasoned, and I'm not backing away from this. And no, my vote is no. Thank you. And this is why. So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Frank Betlow is gonna be joining us around 10. Jeff Koppel will not be able to.
Okay.
That was discussed in the last 10 meetings, that both Jeff and Frank thought Frank's gonna be taking over.
Right,
And give him a chance to
right.
say what he needs to say and us to ask what we need to ask.
Good.
Does smell.
Hi, Frank. Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right.
How's the drive over here?
It's good. Getting here was tough.
Yeah?
You got detours completely around the whole building.
Oh, yeah?
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Working on the
you have to
street.
come in from over here. No, it's just like, and it's all this like fresh oil down.
Mhm.
I was like, oh man.
This time of year, it's easier to describe the roads that are not being worked on.
Yeah. I'm just trying not to get yelled at by public works people. That's
Yeah, it's always a good idea.
How's it going?
Good. We got 1 minute. We'll start on the dot.
Okay.
It looks like you got, a dozen people waiting to hear from you here, so
Yeah.
got a couple.
I see one.
Yeah, we see two. Yeah, well, yeah.
You guys have a good fourth.
Yeah,
I have all my fingers.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
He works.
Yeah. Yeah, I worked and all of my nieces and nephews got together and came up and painted my parents' house. So they're in their mid-80s and we all decided, well, if we make this a work day, so it was a lot of work. 40, well, 50 people.
Wow.
I cooked for them all. That's about all I did.
Okay.
I made on Saturday evening, I made 55 hamburgers. So
I only had like 20 something at my house, but my wife's down in Arizona, so I told her I'm never doing this without
Yeah,
you again.
yeah. I wouldn't have done it without all right, it's 2 o'clock. We're ready to see what you got for us.
All right. I wanted to start out first, letting you all know that, and I don't know if you briefed him on that, but Jeff has he's put in for retirement, so
Yeah.
he's retiring September 30th.
Yep.
That I'll be the new executive director starting August 3rd.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. And I just wanted to at some point set some time aside and maybe during our next update, if I could, or if you want to set it separately, I don't know. And just kind of visit more with you guys in detail and see what it is you guys want Ponderay County.
Okay,
Is there anything else that over the past few years that Ted hasn't provided, or you think we can do a better job at? There's stuff we're doing a good job at. You want us to keep doing it, let us know. And just see how, how Ted can continue to serve Ponderay County. And if there's any way we can, serve you more and help out with things,
Okay.
In any way. Even if, on the transportation side, broadband side, anything that we can do to help out. And I always keep in mind that anytime anybody writes grants over here, if you need letters of support or anything from us, to kind of lean on the regional plans and say this is in support of the regional plan that helps strengthen the grant applications and things like that. Just let us know what we can do to continue working, and if there's anything we can do better, let us know.
Yeah, I'll touch on that real quickly. And that is the timing of yours taking over as executive director, Ted, is pretty good in terms of synchronizing with the additional emphasis that Ponderay County Public Works and our new Public Works Director is putting on strategic planning and the partnership with the Kalispel tribe, which is going in the right direction. So from a regional perspective, you will be asked more and more, I believe, to serve as the fuel and director of the Ponderay efforts from a regional perspective.
Yep.
yeah, I agree. I think that I wouldn't say there's necessarily things that need to be changed as much as there's things that need to be elevated and escalated. As far as a kind of a collaborative regional view of transportation planning. I think that would be one of the things that would rise to the forefront as far as TED goes and as far as your organization goes, is the transportation planning, including an outreach to try to involve the towns more in planning. They're struggling so much that planning is, really put at the bottom of the bucket.
Yeah.
in any way, shape or form. And it depends on who they have at the
Especially
moment.
transportation.
Yes, yeah,
It's, you know, and it's like, it's like that across the region too. It's like that in the other two counties. The small towns are so limited by people, by staff, and by time and by capacity that it's like we have to take care of the big items first, and then
yes.
we always
It's
tend to
triage.
kind of set the little ones to the side, and transportation planning always tends to be one of those that gets set to the side.
Yes,
Put on
yes.
that back burner until it's almost
and
like,
just to have the people and the staff and the expertise and the bandwidth, frankly, to do it is, but, you know, one of the things we're working on is the transit district. Part of what we're working on for the towns, should they join that, is providing some capacity, utilizing county staff to help them with their transportation planning. And so that should help that process.
Yeah.
But,
and we're also here for grant writing support, so let
Yeah.
us know on that.
yeah,
As I go through my update too, and you'll see, I'm gonna do transportation first, and we'll touch on some of that stuff, so I'll go ahead and hop into it.
and the other thing I would just say that, you know, in my view, let's go ahead and have that discussion during your regular update. You know, I'll tap Robert to think between now and then about other areas that we might give you guys some feedback. And nothing comes to mind right now, but we'll think about that.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
great. So we had, I had sent out a request to get the transportation improvement plan input, so I can, from local agencies, which are the counties and the towns and the cities, so I can get our regional plan done. And I'm happy to report that one of the only ones we received was Ponderosa County's.
Very good.
So I did receive the input from Kyle Newberry.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to let you guys know that you guys are one of the few that actually got it in. So
Nice. Good.
Washington didn't even get theirs in. So I'm gonna be doing some follow-up with everybody else and try and get that information together. It's really tough because the way the state has it set up is that it goes, and I even talked to them last week about this, and I'm like, why is it like this? But they have the local jurisdictions before they have theirs isn't due until like December to the state. But they have mine due like October. So there's a lot of the, and just like we talked about earlier, that a lot of the local jurisdictions don't even touch it until they have to, because they're so in, you know, their time is precious. So I'm just trying to get it's not the end of the world, because they'll be able to do monthly updates throughout the year, but hopefully the cities in Ponderosa County get theirs submitted. The transportation, the transportation alternative program, which is this is a every 2 year program that comes around that they use, like Newport did their sidewalk projects with it, stuff like that. The call for projects for that is going to be released August 1st. You guys, as part of the board, you guys will get it a little earlier than that. But the call for projects will be August 1st till September 30th. So there's a 60-day window to get project applications in. And if anybody needs help with those, I'm right here to help them. And those and the apps will be sent out once we receive that on September 30th. On October 1st, the very next day, all those apps are going to be sent out for the board review and for the TAC to review. And we'll have a special TAC meeting on October 21st, where they will be doing, everyone who put in applications will be doing their project presentations. And then TAP rankings will be done that meeting, and then those rankings will go to on our October 28th board meeting. The TAC will have that morning, we'll have a meeting, say, yeah, these are our final rankings, and we'll send them to their recommendation to the board, and the board will approve the rankings for the TAC projects. We don't have a lot of money this year. We have about 400K. We have about half that this year, because we were told by WashDOT that we could normally program the next 2 years, so we're probably gonna have another call next year, but they don't have the Transportation Act. It hasn't made it through approval yet, so they can't tap that money. They said, we don't even know if this program will even have funding, so we don't advise going forward with it like we normally do with every 2 years. So we'll probably do, instead of doing every 2 year call, we'll probably do another call next year. Any questions on that program at all? You guys are usually, Ponderay County jurisdictions are usually the main participants in it. You know, we did the sidewalk planning and engineering in Ione. They did multiple sidewalk projects in Newport, so. Consolidated grants, that's our transit program. Those became available June 15th for all transit agencies. And I'll talk more about transit in Ponderay County here in a bit. But that it came available June 15th when the NOFO came out for that program. We're gonna send out the guidance for how we're gonna review and rank and do all that. The way they do that is they authorize grade rankings, A through D. We never get to D. We never have enough projects for that. But we got 6 A's this year. So, and we normally don't even get 6 projects. So any project that receives an A grade is automatically funded. So we'll see how many projects we get. If we get more than 6, I'll be surprised, but hopefully all the projects we do get submitted will get funded. We just screen them for eligibility and make sure, and then we'll go through and we'll rank them as we're supposed to, and then assign letter grades, and those letter grades go off to WashDOT, and they'll get funded. So we will send that process brief to the board. We'll give that to the board on August 26th, saying this is the process we followed. And then the final apps will be due in GMS. That's the online grant management system. Will be due September 9th. And then what will happen is WashDOT will review the applications for eligibility and anything like that. And they will work, they don't even go through us. Once they're submitted to WashDOT, then WashDOT goes back and will work directly with the applicants on their projects and make any changes, and then their final apps, or they call them revised apps, will be due in GMS on November 13th. So as you see, this takes a while. And then we'll hold a special TAC meeting where they will come in and present, just like they do with the Transportation Alternative Program. And they will come in and present their projects, and then the board of directors will get our ranking sheets. And that'll be at our December 2nd meeting. And then we have to have all of our final regional rankings that's approved by the board and all that with resolution and everything to WashDOT by January 30th. So that's the consolidated grants process, and we will brief the whole board on that and keep everybody updated. Any questions on that? So you guys, the CPT HSTP is a long acronym. It's basically our transit plan, how we're doing, and it's not, when we say transit, we don't just mean bus programs and busing. We also mean like paratransit, veteran service, on demand, transit calls, anything like that, any modes of transportation. So as we were doing, so we're rewriting our plan. It's gonna be on the same timeline, probably like December 2nd meeting should be the final approval at the board level. But I asked our consultants, I said, hey, I'm gonna be briefing the Ponderay County Commissioners. Anything specific come up for them? What that they might be interested in. And one thing they wanted to let me know is there's a lot of concerns over the loss of the Caltrans that's coming up.
Yeah.
And that gap in transit services, and specifically for the Northern County. So they're getting a lot of feedback on the lack of a transit program in Ponderay County.
So tell me about the rural resources bus. Is that a transit program? I know that.
It is, and it connects us to Colville. But I don't know if the scheduling or if how often the Caltrans ran or where it ran
Apparently
to,
it
what it
was-
did.
I-
But they're getting a lot of feedback
Mhm.
about how the impact of the Caltrans not running anymore is it's affecting the county. So I just want to let you guys know that, and you'll get that when that plan comes out, you'll get to see it all in complete detail. Even before then, you guys are gonna draft a review, and it'll be put out for public comment, so. That's the transportation stuff I was gonna touch on. Did you guys have any other transportation questions at all? Okay, on the economic development side, on the tourism, you guys know the Z Canyon, that filming happened on, June 11th. We received an email this morning from the consultants that were doing the filming, and they said we should expect the draft videos, they call them the round one edits. We should receive those on July 10th, so should be seeing those soon. We held a TED in the Library event here in Newport, where we presented business assistance program information and also some loan program information out. So we had two of our staff were over here and spent the day at the library, meeting with business folks and give them information on what's available. And we're gonna be scheduling some more of those. We want to get more of a presence out here. If you have any recommendations or any places that you think of that would be good for us to set up, we can just let us know and we'll get them out here and get them to schedule some days during the month out here and just to reach out to those small businesses and let them know that we exist. We're available, and these are the programs we offer. We can help write business plans.
One of those north end of the county at the library.
Not yet. They don't have one yet.
Okay.
But we would love to schedule one. We just need to find the right place to hold it.
Okay.
We are working with the Port of Ponderay. We're planning a small business workshop with them as well.
Okay.
So I just wanted to let you know that we are working with the Port of Ponderay. Jessica and Ryan are coordinating on doing a small business workshop. I'm not sure where they're gonna hold it yet. They're very very at the end, very beginning of their discussions on when and where and all that, and all the details, but this one, but and then that was really it. That's all I had for.
Can you tell me, and I understand if you can, tell me anything about the status of the property in Medley Falls with the TED loan on it? I know I saw some advertising in the minor about that.
I don't know how much I'm allowed to
Right.
discuss.
Okay, I get it.
Cause it's a loan.
I know it was advertised, a reminder that there's a repossession.
Yeah, that's been delayed. I
Okay,
guess it's as much as I can divulge. I don't know how much I can divulge.
that's fine. I have people asking me about it all the time. As of right now, that's about all I know is
Yeah.
it's in process, so.
We're working with them,
Okay,
so
very good.
I think that's all the information I could really give,
Okay, that's enough.
so.
So tell us a little bit about sort of big picture strategic implications as we move towards the Frank Metlow TED and how you see in the Tri-County region, what are the big opportunity spots for sort of long-term economic growth?
Okay, well, the biggest challenge I have right now, if I'll just talk about TED as a whole, is I'm gonna have to look at staff. And the biggest challenge I have is finding another me. Jeff he got me as his deputy, and there's not a lot of, and I'm not trying to brag about myself, I'm just saying, up here, planters don't grow on trees. To find someone who's in a planting field in this area is very difficult. And it's even more difficult to offer them a salary that's competitive, outside the metropolitan Spokane area. So, I mean, all the planners who want to work are working in Spokane. So that's the first challenge I have. I have to figure out where transportation duties are gonna land. Because we currently don't have anyone on staff, so I'll figure out. Are we gonna hire a transportation planner? How are we gonna structure the staff to keep that work going? So it's not impossible, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to find someone. You never know who's out there who can come do the work. So we'll see. Uh, as far as support and economic development and all of that, we're gonna continue doing what we're doing. I don't, like in my interview, when I was asked about Ted and in my presentation, I talked about Ted. Ted is a very high functioning organization. I mean, we have really successful grant writing. We manage these very, very technical, we're not gonna try something we can't do. We acknowledge when we reach a limit and we make sure we get a consultant that always results in a good plan and a good product, no matter what, if it's broadband, transportation, economic development, no matter where it lands. We want to make sure that we're doing whatever's best for the region that we serve. I want us to kind of get grounded, make sure that we revisit regularly, with the leadership, like at the county commissioner level, at the mayor level, and make sure that at the tribal council level, make sure that we're meeting with all this leadership and that we are serving you guys the best we can. I want you to make sure that you all feel heard and that, I can tell you to expect from me follow-up, a lot of communication. I want to make sure that we're serving you all in a manner that, first of all, that you guys as the leadership, as the representatives for this community know that this is what the community needs, this is what they want. You guys are the eyes and the ears, you hear it every day. So we want to make sure we're doing that. We want to make sure that our plans are being used, that we don't just write them to get that check in the box to say that they're written. We want to make sure that we get good plans written, your projects are in there, so when it comes time for you or one of your staff to write a grant or try to seek funding for a project, that project is in a plan, and it gives that project application strength. It also does the initial groundwork of getting the feasibility and the need and all that identified. So it makes it easier for grant writers to produce a better grant, which makes grant writing more successful and getting more funds to land back here in our region. So we can get things done. We can plan all day long, but without that funding landing here to get us through the planning stage and get us to construction and get things done and get things built.
So let's drill in on that regarding broadband, because one of my concerns is that now that Stevens and Ferry County have had the benefit of Frank Metlow driving the broadband issue, because that was one of your core functions, just when it's time to turn the attention towards Ponderay County, it's kind of been behind a little bit in terms of full implementation. You're at a higher elevation in terms of the organization, and my concern is that given the somewhat fractured approach we've had with recent gains in terms of a great working relationship between you and the PUD, I hope that's true, that now it's like, well, the Frank in his old role is no longer available. I hope this isn't gonna just kind of go into
I'm going
that.
to keep broadband.
Okay, I'm writing that down, by the way. Yeah.
I'm going to keep broadband just because there's so much work to be done. And we do have a good working relationship. Sarah is in every one of my meetings that I go to, whether it's a, public broadband stakeholder meeting, or it's we have we've regionalized the broadband action team now instead of having one for each county. We've regionalized, so now we have all of the minds, all the resources, all of the ISPs, all those players all working together to solve this broadband issue. The BEAD, I wish I could say the BEAD has gone smoothly. It's been a very, very long, drawn out process between the federal and the state and the Washington State Broadband Office. You know, like just now, like we got awarded, everyone who got awarded project areas who has been working through, now they say all of their contracts are on hold because they want to add something to the contract language. So and we're like, okay, we ask them weekly, we check in with them, where's our contract? Where's our contract? Still no word. So and once again, we have a delay, but it will. I'm curious to see how it all comes out in the wash, because all these entities who haven't signed contracts, every B project area in the Tri-County region has someone who has bid to provide to those projects, to those, they call them BSLs, to the broadband serviceable locations in those areas. We have to wait for all this, because they can still say, you know what, we don't like all the changes, we're out. So we're waiting to see if any of that happens. And if any of that happens, we're gonna go in and try to pick up those project areas. And we partner with KnowNet and we work with KnowNet on getting just service wherever we can. We're here, you know, we're just here to get it done. Gives everybody something. We don't know how the Starlink and the Kuiper, which is Amazon's version of Starlink, we don't know how that's gonna work out. We still don't know. The Washington State Broadband Office got, I think, 1.2 billion for the state, and they still have over 300 million left over after award. And we're trying to say, okay, well, that's a lot of money, you know, to have 25% of 1.2 billion left over. What are you gonna do with it? So we're waiting to hear them say, okay, here's what we're gonna do with it. So we're working in the trenches. We have a working group who is looking at workforce development now, and we're looking at digital literacy. So we're trying to set up some programs and get some funding. So all of these homes who are getting broadband in their home for the first time will have a resource to advise people. This has been their internet forever. So we're trying to find ways to get them even the basics. What devices can you use? What's out there that you can utilize now that you have broadband, like coordinating with the school districts and saying, this is your school portal, this is how it works, so they can track their students. How do they work with their clinics to do telemedicine? How do they work with their, either over in Seattle or Spokane, to their specialists and do telemedicine? You know, that kind of stuff, making sure that they know the basics of how to set up a wireless network in their home, how to do it safely, how to recognize phishing, how to recognize malicious emails, and how to protect themselves when they're in the internet, making sure they're not susceptible to, you know, predatory anything. Just all of that is now, you know, getting broadband to communities for the first time it's exciting, opens up a ton of opportunity. Let them know they have access to the digital marketplace now, so they can start home-based businesses, do drop shipping, those types of things. So just having all of that, we just want to make sure that we do the best we can and let them know what they have available now if they have internet in their home.
Right, all dependent upon them getting internet to their,
Yes.
to their home.
Yes.
So I heard what you said, you're still encouraging them.
We're at the mercy at the federal and state program right now that kind of is gatekeeping. One of the things that you run into, like when you put in through for broadband through a different funding area or a different agency even, is they say, okay, we won't fund areas that are already served.
Right,
Well, define served.
right,
These guys are funded through BEAD, but BEAD's taken forever. Are they served or are they not served?
right.
So we always have that tap dance to get through.
Frank, I don't know if you've met the Seabrook Public Works Director here.
Hi. To meet you again.
Again. Yes, yeah.
Harold, did you have something for Frank today?
No,
Okay.
we're just a minute early, I think, for.
Okay. Anything else for us?
Nope, just, I'm here. anything comes up, email, call. If you want me to come out here to meet with you guys, or sometimes you're in Caldwell, you wanna come meet with me there, just let me know, I'm available. And I look forward to serving you guys as the director soon
Okay, very good.
and being there and
We'll make it happen.
helping as we can.
All right. Thanks, Frank.
Yeah, thank you.
Good to see you.
Long night over, but beautiful job.
Right, nice day. Thank you.
Session two. Doing. Work. Let me get that.
Yeah, we have no idea why you're here, Carol. That's what I'm.
Always happy to see you.
We're always happy to see you, whatever we can do for you.
Oh, three. Okay. This was me. This is me. I have it on my calendar at 2:30. I don't believe. I'll see if she shows up, then I guess. But I guess if she doesn't show up, then I'm off. But I'll be like.
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. I'm the chair. I should know these things, Robert, but I have no, yeah, I have something to, it's a sneaking suspicion this has to do with Crystal being gone.
Oh.
Thank you. Sorry about that. That session was moved.
Oh, the executive session?
That one was moved to, it was canceled and it was moved
Right.
to the following week.
Okay, all right, very good.
So
Sorry.
it dawned on me
Okay.
it dawned on me after talking to her. It's like, wait, there was one that was canceled.
Yes.
All right. So our next one is 3 o'clock with Dolly.
Yes, your
Okay.
next,
Great.
session with the long meetings. I apologize for them.
Good afternoon, Dolly. How are you doing?
For you.
Good. We'll start right on the dot here in 2 minutes.
All right, thank you.
Okay, it's 3 o'clock. Do you have anything for us, Dolly?
Just briefly, I had mentioned last week that I'm gonna start sending over some of the proposed updated policies that have kind of been on our to-do list for a while. I'll be sending over the real property, county real property surplus policy for the board to start reviewing. And then, once the board feels like they've had ample time to review that, we can sit down and answer any questions or address any concerns at a future date. But I'm going to go ahead and forward that off to Crystal for the board's review early this week. So just want to let you know that that's coming. We are processing quite a few contracts right now. We're doing some review for different departments, particularly Public Works, with some some of those needed updated policies. So we're making some recommendations and some suggestions, for our office for some of those. So I know those will eventually make it over to the board. We're hoping to follow up with a few of the departments, reference the need to update the purchasing policy, since some of the statutory amounts have changed for the small works roster. So we'll be nudging a few of those departments this week to see if they have any suggested changes or concerns, and then I know we'll have that. I would guess we would have that to that particular policy update probably within the next week or so on that one. And I didn't have touch base, regarding the dog ordinance. We've got some follow-up we're going to do with the court on some of the court processes. And then we're going to nudge one or two more departments on the public nuisance one. So we'll hopefully get something down to you guys to start reviewing and give some feedback as well. So like I said, our main aim, at least on the civil side, is to nudge a few of the departments and make sure that they have ample opportunity to get their needs addressed, look at some of their internal processes and see where we may need to make some adjustments based on some of the changes that are being recommended. So that's where we're kind of at on the civil side. The criminal side has been incredibly busy and continues to be incredibly busy for our office. So we have pretty robust Superior Court docket this week. Obviously, we've had a number of new cases within the last week as well. So we're trying to juggle that and all of the discovery and data related to the discovery out to all of the defense attorneys. So our office is busy. We've started to do some of the interviewing for my open staff position. I'm hopeful that we'll hopefully have a great candidate from that pool, and we could at least have our staffing positions full as we continue to work on getting some more applicants for the 2 deputy prosecutor positions. So that's what's going on in my office as of today. So that's my update from our office. I'm not sure if the board has anything that they would like me to comment on or want me to address.
I'd like you to comment, Dolly, on when will you start to feel the peak impact of the mandated reduced caseloads regarding felonies?
I don't know that doesn't impact me in the prosecutor's office. That may impact the county.
Right.
I don't know that there's going to be an immediate impact only because we have three separate contractors. You know, and the amount of felony cases I think are still manageable within the three. And then there's always a number of folks that hire private attorneys. So that wouldn't count, you know, against the county in that sense. I don't know that we're going to see an immediate kind of watching, obviously, the litigation list between Spokane and Spokane County's Office of Public Defense to kind of see where that comes out. So I don't know that I can give you a solid, you know, answer to that unless our numbers just explode, which, you know, whether it impacts the public defenders, you know, or not, it would definitely impact our office, particularly as we continue to be short-staffed on the deputy prosecutor side. So I think at least in the meantime, it's definitely something the board should continue to, you know, look at and consider in relation to whatever, you know, whatever our annual numbers are to see if there's going to be an impact. But right now, I think because we have three separate contractors, we're still at a good place.
Great, thank you. That's all I have.
Yeah, I got nothing for you, Dolly. Appreciate your time.
Okay, well, let me know if anyone needs anything.
All right,
Thanks, Donald.
thank you.
Have a good day.
You got anything else for me? I don't either. I think we might as well recess
Okay,
till tomorrow at 9.
okay.